in your opinion, are the key ingredients to building and maintaining business relationships?
Communication is the key ingredient to guiding and maintaining successful business relationships. Being able to clearly communicate your ideas allows you to build and maintain a relationship with others. By upholding these professional relationships with my coworkers, I earn respect and trust from these individuals.
Give me an example of a time when you were able to successfully communicate with a person, even when they may not personally like you, or vice versa.
I'm a very charismatic and outgoing kind of person. Being very social, I love talking with people to get to know them. However, I understand that there are many people who are not as talkative and more of an introvert. One of my clients did not necessarily like me personally because he thought it was overbearing. I tried to befriend him and wanted to get to know him, but he was quite reserved. I decided that it would be best to not be so forward, but rather talk to him in a calm manner. He really appreciated that, and he actually opened up more, which led to expressing himself more.
How have you gone about making important decisions?
I like to gather as much information as possible to aid in my decision, but I also consider how much time is available to me. Sometimes a decision needs to be made quickly, even if all information can't be gathered, so I weigh time versus information. Then I look at the possible outcomes and the likely results of my decisions and make the best choice for my team and my organization with the facts available. For example, at my last job, 2 of my coworkers were fighting over who should get the specific client. Since my boss was absent at the time and I was in no position to be in charge, I asked our receptionist to put a hold on the client's files. When my boss was back in office, I informed him of the situation and he expressed that he was impressed with my decision-making skills.
Tell me about an important goal you set in the past. Were you successful? Why or why not?
After the company had shared some of the customer interaction statistics with us, I set a goal for myself to improve my communication skills and be more purposeful. In that position and the ones I had hoped to hold in the future, I recognized that communication was at heart of the job, so I really wanted to become a master communicator. I spent a lot of time watching how others spoke with clients, paying attention to what worked and what didn't, as well as practicing on my own. I even enrolled in a simple communication class to help me advance. My efforts eventually led to me being promoted to the head of relations, where I was able to implement some universal communication standards for all employees who interact with customers.
How do you get subordinates to work at their peak potential?
By keeping them motivated. I think keeping employees motivated and on track is one of the most important things an employee can do. We need to have our fingers on the pulse of what clients or customers need, but also the tools that our employees need to make that magic happen. As an employee, I think of myself as somewhat of a conduit between our clients and my direct reports. My role is to keep clients excited about our work and keep employees motivated and equipped to create excited things.
Describe a situation where you had to use conflict management skills.
I'm proactive. In other words, I monitor situations closely to prevent minor problems from escalating into major ones. In most cases, minor problems can be resolved by simply meeting individually with affected parties. It's not a good idea to ignore a problem in hopes that it will resolve itself. Some employees avoid confrontation, which often results in bigger problems that are more difficult to handle. Effective leaders are aware of many factors, including jealousy, individual differences, and other issues that create conflicts among employees. Therefore, effective employees must meet individually with feuding clients and suggest workable solutions.
In what ways are you trying to improve yourself?
I'm making myself more introspective and self-aware. As a leader, it's easy to avoid seeking out things you don't want to hear, but you can always get better. I'm currently going through a 360 review program with my clients to gain insight into what I can improve in this new year.
How many reject projects do you work on at once?
I sometimes had trouble saying no and ended up overwhelmed with my workload. Earlier in my career, I would take on so many projects that I'd work evenings and weekends. It was stressful. I realized that this was counterproductive, so I started using workload management tools and setting better expectations for myself and my teammates. That being said, I take on as many as I can handle without being overwhelmed and counterproductive. A number is hard to give because each client's needs are different, but I'd say anywhere from 5 to 10 cases a week.
Give me an example of a time in which you had to be relatively quick in coming to a decision.
Ordinarily, I would prefer to have enough time to weigh multiple options and think through a problem before deciding on a course of action. However, I also understand that may not always be possible. At a past job working as a manager for Sonic, a fuse was blown and all the electrical systems went down. The issue had to be resolved quickly or we would have had to shut down for the whole day. During that time, we really couldn't risk going without that revenue. Therefore, I called a friend who lived nearby and worked as an electrician to come by and see if he could resolve the issue. He fixed it and we continued operations that day. We paid my friend for what we would have paid a regular electrician. I was put in a tough spot and I wasn't sure if paying an electrician or shutting down was the right thing to do, but after everything was said and done, we made profit by staying open and my general manager was pleased with my decision.
How do you see your job relating to the overall goals of the organization?
When my goals and those of the company are in alignment, an example, our goals become the same, then we actually start making a difference in any organization. I truly believe any employee here will have the same goal as me and the organization as a whole, and that should be relative to helping our clients to the next, better stage of their life. My questions for you are: 1. What are the prospects for growth and advancement? 2. Is relocation a possibility? And 3. When can I expect to hear from you?